okay. Yes.
Question 2. How do you keep yourself sane? Keeping myself sane is always through realization that there's things that are in your control, circle of influence and circle of concern. So getting to understand how to deal with them, getting to know how to talk to people who are related, who are interested, or rather who are affected by these things, and also taking care of yourself, be it through ensuring, for example, at work, ensuring you don't go through burnout and self-care. So always getting to do the things that you love, things that will make you happy, things that will put you in a space that will ensure that you're in the right mental space to execute other things as well. Yes, and question 3, most important of all, Victor,
Are you happy?
Are you
happy, my good?
Are you happy?
Personally, I can say I'm happy because I find happiness in making others happy. And that's all being all right, hashtag be all right is all about. So if you guys are happy, I'm happy. Yes.
I think I'm happy as well. I'm happy as well. Someone said, I don't know who, no one never knows. Someone once said, no one never knows. The secret to happiness is always to have something to look forward to. And I'm definitely looking forward to this Thursday for the webinar and also for the event that we're going to have here at the Coral Bells rooftop. And I believe I keep myself happy by always having something to look forward to and gratitude.
Wow. Oh wow. My oh my. All right, so that's it. We're looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday evening on the online webinar. We'll keep you posted on YouTube and Instagram, and we're also looking forward to have you on Saturday for our wellness fair. Be blessed. Yes.
See you there, guys.
Ta-ta.
Hello, people. I think we can give a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, for people to settle in before we start. So, yeah, grab your cup of tea, grab your glass of water. Yeah.
Yeah, in readiness to join the webinar on wellness.
So I think everyone is in. First of all, we're really happy to have you guys for this first edition of Savo Lifestyles Wellness webinar. So we are very grateful. We're very grateful for this opportunity. We're very grateful for this chance and for this opportunity to do amazing things with amazing people, have amazing conversations with amazing people. Yeah. So as the people settle in, we'd like to first introduce what this is. We'd want to let you guys know why we're here. We'd want to let you guys know what you're doing here and how it's going to go. So as I introduced earlier, this is a Savo Lifestyle Wellness webinar, which was set up because we as Savo Lifestyle believe that we have the lives of so many people in our hands, and we believe that it would be amazing if you can get to create this psychosocial development, people to get to achieve and to do what they love. So through such an initiative as a Savo Lifestyle Wellness webinar, we can be able to create spaces where we can communicate, we can talk, we can be able to relate and understand different aspects, different views And yeah. Who is it by? It's by Savo Lifestyle. It is by Savo Lifestyle, and by you being the person behind your phone, watching, behind your laptop, behind whatever device. It is by you, because if you weren't here, we would never have been here. We're grateful, again, very grateful for you, and we're looking forward to having so much more of the same. And I think I'd want to start with introducing who we have. So right beside me is an amazing lady who can introduce herself and will introduce herself. But I feel privileged and I feel happy to have her and her team beside me. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Jeff. My name is Emma Muchoke. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I also run a private practice, and I'm very passionate about mental health and things about emotional wellness. Yeah, and so happy to be hosted with my colleagues to have the talk on the mental wellness. Yeah, there's no health without mental health. It's such an important part of our well-being. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. As you can see, she's an amazing person, and wow, she's also a resident. She's a resident here at Savo. So anyone who's a Savorite, a fellow in Savorite here in our property, if you see around, say hi. If you have something, ukipata kwa lift usimpite ongea na yeye. So also have Juliet. I'd love if she could introduce herself. Hello.
Juliet, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
I'm really sorry about that. So I'm Juliet Mugoni, and I'm a clinical psychologist, also the founder of Ignition Point Kenya. I'm really passionate about mental health practices and wellness. So I'll be looking forward to talking more about self-care and burnout in this session. Over to you.
Perfect. So that's Juliet, another amazing woman who will be speaking more on our topic of the day, which is, of course, burnout and self-care. We also have Letty with us. Yes.
Hello, everyone. I am Letty.
Hello.
I'm also a clinical psychologist, and I'm very glad to be here, and I'm glad to talk about mental health. It's a pressing issue. It's a very important aspect of our well-being, and I look forward to interacting and hearing how your experiences have been and learning from you even as we impart knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Letty. A person as amazing as her name. And last but not least, our very own Udi Gakundi. I'd love if you could say something as well.
Actually, I don't have much to say. I mean, I think these guys have said it all. I'm excited to be here. I have Jeff himself as the man with his co-host there, looking lovely and killing it. So looking forward to the Q&A and whatever questions you have for us.
Thank you. So before we begin, I think there's a video that should be queuing up in a bit. So we did a whole thing. We asked ourselves very many questions about what we believe well-being is, and with a colleague of mine, it should be queuing in a bit if it's ready. So stay tuned as we introduce it.
Yebo. Jumbo. This is Victor from Savo Lifestyle.
This is Jeff Kiragu from Savo Lifestyle as well.
And we hope that you've been having a lovely week so far in this wellness week dubbed Be All Right. And now here are your top 3 questions concerning wellness.
Question 1. what do you understand by wellness?
I think it's just about having the kind of conversations that we need to have and being able to discuss openly that whether you're having a good time or a bad time, you know that you have a support system that can cater to you. And by definition, when they're okay, you're okay. And by when you're okay, people around you are also okay. Yeah. Yes.
Question 2. How do you keep yourself sane? Keeping myself sane is always through realization that there's things that are in your control, circle of influence and circle of concern. So getting to understand how to deal with them, getting to know how to talk to people who are related, who are interested, or rather who are affected by these things, and also taking care of yourself, be it through ensuring, for example, at work, ensuring you don't go through burnout and self-care. So always getting to do the things that you love, things that will make you happy, things that will put you in a space that will ensure that you're in the right mental space to execute other things as well. Yes, and question 3, most important of all, Victor,
Are you happy?
Are you happy,
my good sir?
Are you happy?
Personally, I can say I'm happy because I find happiness in making others happy. And that's all being all right, hashtag be all right is all about. So if you guys are happy, I'm happy. Yes.
I think I'm happy as well. I'm happy as well. Someone said, I don't know who, no one never knows. Someone once said, no one never knows. The secret to happiness is always to have something to look forward to. And I'm definitely looking forward to this Thursday for the webinar and also for the event that we're going to have here at the Coral Bells rooftop. And I believe I keep myself happy by always having something to look forward to and gratitude.
Wow. Oh, wow. My, oh, my. All right, so that's it. We're looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday evening on the online webinar. We'll keep you posted on YouTube and Instagram, and we're also looking forward to have you on Saturday for our wellness fair. Be blessed.
Karibuni
Yes.
sana. See you there, guys.
Ta-ta.
Yes. What a beautiful video. And as I said, if you want to be happy, just get something to look forward to. And guess what? Whatever we were looking forward to is here. This is it. This is what we were looking forward to. Our wellness webinar with amazing people. And I'd start by asking the same question that I had to answer now that we're here. Juliet, now that you are here, what is wellness? What do you understand by wellness? What is wellness to you?
Wellness is quite broad, but it's the fact that you are in the right mental state to be okay, you know? That is mentally, physically, emotionally. It just means that you are okay, you're functioning fully, you're healthy, and you're happy.
Okay. Liti, what do you understand by wellness? What is wellness to you?
For me, I think wellness is a state of optimal functioning. If you're in a space where you're supposed to be happy, you're actually able to be in the moment and be happy. If it's conflict, you're handling it well, you're handling it in a way that is pretty sane, pretty okay. So I feel like optimal functioning, not just in the good light, but if something negative is happening, you're working at it at best. Yeah.
Okay, and when you say optimal functioning, like, it's not like biology where you can measure the amount of water a plant gets and unajua hizo vitu zote. So how would you explain optimal functioning for a human being?
Okay. So I would break it down into the physical, emotional, and mental. So physically, your health is doing well as far as it's within your control. You're exercising, eating healthy. Emotionally, you're pretty balanced. You're able to feel all your emotions in equal measure where they are appropriate. And mental functioning now would be more of if you're able to concentrate on your work, you're able to be productive. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. And Udi, if I may ask, how do you keep yourself sane? Of course, this is assuming that you do. But how do you manage to keep yourself in that space? How do you manage to ensure that you're feeling good? And then how do you ensure that you keep yourself in the right mental space?
Me as a person or generally as a professional in the area?
As a person. Share with us your tips as a person.
As a person,
Yes.
I drink lots of water. Anyway, I take time to exercise. To live is to move. And so if you are living a sedentary lifestyle, then you are going against the nature of how you're designed to be. So one, exercise is not really about pumping your heart only. It's also obeying the basic nature of what your body is supposed to do. So that's one. Two, our bodies are, you could think of the body inside out or outside in. So I think about it inside out. So you occupy a vessel, or rather your brain occupies a vessel. And if that vessel is not in its best condition, then there's no way your brain and its primary functions will work the way it's supposed to. So I take care of my body and I take care of my brain. So that's how I keep sane.
Okay. That's a good answer. Drink your water, people. Drink your water. Kunywa maji. Emma, how do you keep yourself sane?
Okay. I over the weekend I work in Karura. I really love the nature, and it's like close to this Avon Kiambu Road. Yeah, so I enjoy connecting with nature and with my emotions, and getting that space to process my week alone. Yeah, and then mindfulness in the forest, it's like easy to breathe in as you think through stuff. So yeah, that's how I maintain my sanity. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. That's really nice. So live next to nature or find nature. Find nature.
Yeah.
Lastly, I don't know if it's the hardest question or the easiest question, but are you happy? Juliet, are you happy really?
To be entirely honest, this is my happiest year since I started living. So yes, I am happy.
Okay, that's good. That's amazing. Lady, are you happy?
It's funny, when I saw that question, I quickly ran to Google what the definition is. And luckily, it's sort of on a continuum between contentment and ecstatic. So I would say I'm at contentment at the moment because I feel I'm juggling quite a number of things, but I'm doing it well. So I feel I'm at contentment.
Okay. Udi, with your water and your exercising.
Short answer or long answer?
Multiple choice, yes, no, maybe. Jokes. Long answer. We want a long answer.
Long answer. It's a revolving door.
Pardon?
You switch between. It's a revolving door. Yeah. So right now I'm happy. Tomorrow, some circumstances might rob me of the opportunity, but I work my way back to happiness.
Okay. And lastly, beside me, right here, are you happy?
Am I happy? I would say to some extent, yes, yes. But asking people, saying I'm happy or not, I feel like today, like if I'm to look at my day, I have experienced emotions in all range. And that is what is human, not being just superly excited. Like I've been overwhelmed, I've been, like annoyed by a few stuff. Yeah, and at the moment I'm happy we are live and having the webinar. Yeah, but I would say a human has a wide range of emotions and it is okay to feel how you're feeling. Yeah, so like you should not wake up every day feeling very excited. So some days if you're angry, it's still okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Those are amazing answers. As I told you, these are amazing people with us. Amazing people. So I'd invite Juliet to share on self-care as I introduced, as maybe she prepares. We believe that it's easy for, I think mostly when the year starts, of course with New Year resolutions and I want to achieve this by this time, but then you do work towards them and you do everything towards them, but it gets to a point where it might feel, you might lose a bit of the energy, so you can experience burnout and at that time, and it's very important to notice it and to take care of yourself. So Juliet will be with us explaining, just talking more about it, helping us understand it, what are the symptoms of such, and how to deal with it. And the stage is yours, Juliet. The stage is yours.
And before
Thank you
Juliet,
so much.
well, before she gives the presentation, yeah, our audience, like you can give your comments, your questions. Yeah, we'll be waiting.
Yeah. So you can just drop your questions and we'll be able to we'll answer them towards the end. Feel free, whatever question it is, to go hapa.
Okay.
Yes.
So I can continue now.
Yes. I know you can be able to share your screen.
Okay. So, I am to share mine. All right.
As she does that, maybe you can see what a couple of people are saying. Let's see.
Yes,
Sam,
yes,
wellness is peace. Oh, okay. Is wellness peace? Wellness is.
Yeah, because I think if you're well, like, there's a correlation.
Okay, that's true. That is very true. Yeah. Sophie says, I try smiling most of the time. It's infectious, brightens the environment too. I think she means when she smiles. You know those adverts where, or I don't know what advert was that for. I see colors. So Sophie's smiling and everything is just brightening up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Victor, I think Victor is just singing that he's happy. I believe Victor is always happy. So I believe he's happy. Yes. Welcome.
okay, Jeff, are you?
So I don't know if you've been able to do it,
see my
Juliet.
screen?
Pardon?
Pardon? Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
From my side, it is shared.
Okay. Yeah.
And
We can see
show.
it. We can see it.
Okay, you can now see.
Yes.
All right, so I want to take this as a conversation and not really talk, but just be in conversation and relate whatever our topic is to real life situation, because I believe what we're doing is so practical. And what better way to understand than to use practical aids, right?
Yes.
So today we're doing burnouts and self-care, and I don't know if we know what a burnout is. Most times people confuse burnouts and having stress. But typically, burnout is a form of exhaustion resulting from prolonged stress. That is to mean that sometimes you feel you're tired, you feel you don't have you don't have more energy like you're used to, or you feel physically exhausted, and sometimes you just feel so drained, you don't want to talk to anyone. And I'll talk about the signs later. But the moment you feel you're in that situation, then just know that that is a burnout. And I'll be talking about the signs way later, but I want us to understand that burnout and stress is different. Stress is just a situation in a moment. It is something that just happens within a short time. Probably you get a phone call and someone tells you that your house is on fire. You feel stressed. Or you get a call and you're told you're gonna lose your job in like an hour or so. uh, that is going to be stressful for you. But when you talk about burnout, we're talking about stress that is unresolved. You've been stressed today, you've been stressed yesterday, and the day before yesterday, and now it's been a week and you haven't resolved that stressful situation. Then that becomes now a burnout. And you see, we are living in a life where we have so much pressure. um and by pressure I mean, okay, allow me to say this respectfully. I don't know if you still can hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. I'm not able to read the chat because my screen is on full PowerPoint presentation, but I will believe that we are together. So I was saying, we're living in a world where when you look at this generation, we have so much pressure in every aspect of our life. Especially when you look at our social media pages, you'll see there's this pressure where we're trying to all look like we are making it in life, to be perfect. You're driving the latest car, or you're at least having a car. You have the best outfit, you have the best couple goals or something like that. And it's actually so much pressure to match up. If you're 22 and above, we're talking about career pressure or pressure to hustle. You're talking about uh, your friends are either getting married in this age, and you're there, you even don't probably have someone that you're seeing as a potential spouse. Or your friends might be having a good career and you're there struggling to make meet ends. Probably you're going from interview to interview, job applications to job applications. So there's so much pressure such that we feel that the best probably thing will be is to give up. Or if not so, you feel like, I think what is worth living life, if I'm not going to make it, if I'm going to stress myself this much, or if people are not going to accept me as I am. You know, the pressure to live and exist in a world where people have so many friends and they're doing so well, they're partying, they're clubbing, but then you don't have the money to go do your thing or go party. You've seen someone who has posted a picture, probably playing paintball, and you can't afford that. So I think this generation, there's so much pressure around us. And the more you keep it to yourself, the more it is possible that you're going to experience a burnout. And how you know that you're experiencing a burnout is if you find yourself having the following symptoms. The first one is you'll notice that you're in a low mood. Your mood starts changing. You become irritable, you become angry around people, you wake up grumpy, you just don't want to talk to anyone. You feel if anyone speaks to you, you just feel irritated. You just feel like you don't want to associate or to mingle. You don't want anyone to tell you any advice or something like that. You just want to be by your own self. You feel miserable. You feel unhappy. And that's why I think Jeff was asking us, are you happy? That is one sign to know whether you're experiencing burnout. Because if you're having burnout, there's no way that you will be laughing and smiling all over. The second thing is fatigue. You feel tired. It's early in the morning, it's at 7, but you're already tired. You don't even want to get out of the bed to go hustle or to go to work or to do your assignments. You just feel your body is so tired. Um, and I had Udis talk of drink more water. It will actually help you physically. Do some exercises, but I'll tell you how you're going to deal with burnouts later. The other thing, you start being absent. If it's work, you're not showing up. If it's your family, you don't want to deal with their problems. You don't want to deal with any drama. You just feel you have so much on your plate that you're not ready to be there for anyone. You're just absent in people's lives. Um, the other thing is negative attitude towards everyone around you. That is your coworkers, your friends, your family. Sometimes you just feel like they're out to stress you, like they're just there to give you a hard time, like they're just thinking about themselves and they don't think they don't give priority to what you're feeling or what you're going through. They're not checking up on you. So you just find yourself having a negative attitude towards those around you, then you might detach or become emotionally numb. And by emotionally numb is when you can't experience feelings or you can't even express the feelings and emotions that you have. You're angry, but you just leave it. Like you just decide to be quiet about it. Someone irritates you, you shrug your shoulders and continue with life. You don't care whatever people are doing or whatever people are saying. Nothing. You just, your emotions are packed in a cocoon such that you feel like there's no need to even interact emotionally with anyone. You detach yourself from people, you alienate yourself, isolate yourself, you become withdrawn. Such things are what makes you know that you're actually experiencing a burnout. Then you might have reduced performance and productivity. Of course, when all this is going on, your mood is low, you're tired, you're absent in people's life. Of course, your productivity will not be equal to someone who is active or someone who is happy. And you'll find that if probably you have reports that you are supposed to do, you're not doing them anymore. If you had assignments, you're not doing them anymore. So that means whatever that is going in your work area is going to be something of poor quality. You're going to have poor output. If it's assignment, of course, you're going to fail in your exams. You're not going to perform well. So, such are the things that make you know that you are experiencing a burnout. So, the best way to deal with burnout is what we call self care. And I know that probably you've heard this term so many times. You've heard it in songs, you've had people posting their videos of how they do their self care. So I want to introduce self care as the ability to be mindful of your needs so as to ensure a healthy functioning. By self care, I mean that you're taking a break to just give yourself time, to prioritize yourself, to pat your back and tell yourself, I am important. I need to think about me. I need to put myself first. I've been putting probably people around me first, but right now it's time for me. That is what self care is. Asking yourself, what do you need physically, socially, emotionally? What do you need? And providing whatever you need to your body. Because you'll find that most times, Emma, someone will be out there, you're making your money, but that money is going towards other people. We have baby showers, you're giving that money for baby shower. You have someone probably passed away in your friendship circle or in your family, that money will go towards that. Or you'll find that there's so much that is sucking your money, sucking your time, that you don't actually stand up for your needs. You don't ask yourself, what about you? And self care is very important because it helps you respond to life challenges rather than react. When you don't have self care, you'll find that if I have said that one of the signs of burnouts is that you wake up very irritable and frustrated and angry around people. So of course, if you don't have self-care, you're going to be messing up your relationships. Someone tells you one thing and you feel like this person is attacking you, while yet probably that was just feedback. So when you're taking care of yourself, you're able to feed your emotional needs, you're able to feed your physical needs, and you're able to feed your mental needs such that you're in a better space to handle whoever is coming your way or whatever situation and problem that is coming your way. So when it comes to self-care, it is something intentional, something you are deliberate, something you have to make time for. Either you give yourself 30 minutes per day or you give yourself 1 hour, but you just make sure that every day there's some time that has been put aside for you to take care of yourself. And it's a priority, it's not a luxury. Um, we have so many myths that are surrounding self-care. You'll find someone saying that it is a selfish act. It is when you have self-care, you're only thinking about you, so you're being selfish and you should think about others. But no, it is not a selfish act because you see, when you actually don't have it, then you end up messing other people. But when you have it, you end up handling other people in a better way. So I would ask, do you think it is selfish to take care of you? You've been there taking care of your family, you've been there taking care of your friends, you're always showing up for the events, you're always showing up for their miseries. But what about you? Is showing up for yourself a selfish act really? Some say that it is pampering yourself. It is not actually pampering yourself, but it is taking care of yourself. You're not pampering is more like you're taking too much care for yourself that you don't look at people around you. But is self-care really that? No, it is not pampering yourself. It is just making sure that all the needs that you have as a person are fulfilled. And some other people say that it is for the weak, for those people who don't know how to deal with their problems. No, self care actually shows how much you can take care of your own self. And if you're able to take care of your own self, as I have said, then that means you can take care of people around you very well. But you can't take care of people around you and you don't know how to take care of yourself. Yeah, so that is self care. Then I'll go over to how can you now take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is not only just your body. I've seen so many YouTube videos on self care, and they're like, take a day and shower, take time to exfoliate your skin, massage yourself, and all that. It is not only for the body, it covers so many areas. And the first one we have is the emotional and mental aspect of your life. Emotional and mental. Emotional, I mean that you're able to express your feelings and actually own up to whatever you're feeling. Like, do you have methods that can help you express anger? Do you have methods that can help you express frustration, or that can help you express love and joy, all the emotions that you feel? Do you have such? And an example will be like having support system. You've been around people who talk too much and you're like, does this person ever keep quiet? And imagine, to that person, that is self-care. The fact that they can sit around and talk about it, most people call those people dramatic. You'll find someone saying that they're dramatic because they're telling that the other person how they feel and all that, but they're actually not being dramatic. They are being them. They're expressing whatever is out. It's just that sometimes someone might express themselves without being assertive but aggressive. So when it's aggressive, that's when it becomes dramatic. But when someone is assertively communicating how they're feeling, then that is self-care. Mentally, how can you take care of yourself? For example, writing journals. there are people who enjoy writing a lot. You can write a journal and evaluate your day. How has it been? If you struggle writing, you can take an audio, make an audio, and just evaluate how the day has been. I saw there's also an app that asks you different questions. Probably I can link the app as we continue the conversation. It asks you questions that makes you feel like you're opening up. Yet probably that will be such a difficult thing if you are alone. So there's so many apps out there to help you emotionally and mentally. Then there's the physical aspect of taking care of your body, and that is to mean that you that you know for people who work in an office, you don't get time to walk around. For people who walk a lot, you don't get time to sit down. You need to make sure that your body is in balance, that you can be able to work out, you can be able to rest, you can be able to sleep well. That is what we call self-care for your physical aspect of the body. You're giving yourself time to recuperate, time to rejuvenate. You're giving yourself your body time. Our bodies are like cars. You see, a car, the moment it's time for it to go for a service, if you don't do that, then that means that you're wearing out the car, and that means that the car is going to be worse than it was. There's a point where you have to take your car for service. So that's the same way with our bodies. Our bodies need frequent service periods, and the more you keep yourself from having that point of taking care of your body, you will find that you will break down. And breakdown does not mean that your body will just collapse. It will mean that you'll find yourself having certain diseases. You'll find yourself probably having depression, not because of anything else, but because you didn't take care of your body well. So physical entails a lot of things: eating right, doing exercises, working out, and such things. Then we have the spiritual aspect of self-care. Spiritual borders a lot with what you believe in. And you see, if you don't have something you believe in, that means during your difficult moments, you won't have something to lean on. And this is very important because having a spiritual aspect in your life is what gives you purpose. And I'm not meaning spiritual by you have to be a Christian or you have to be a Hindu, you have to have a certain religion. No, it's not a religion. I'm talking about having something that you believe in. That could be God, that could be science, that could be whatever you're believing that is giving you purpose. Having purpose makes you want to live life longer. But if you don't have purpose, if you don't have something that is making you look forward to tomorrow, then that means it will be easier for you to break down into depression and other mental health illnesses. So yeah, the aspect of spiritual care is important, and how people do this is by forming groups, going to churches, listening to spiritual songs and such like things. Then we have professional care. And professional care, I'm talking about work-life balance. How do you handle people at work or people that you hustle with? How do you handle too much work? Do you have time where you tell yourself, okay, work never ends, so I'm going to take a break of 1 hour, take my lunch, and think about me? Do you have time that you tell yourself, okay, it's 9 p.m., I have to sleep, or it's 10 p.m., I have to sleep because I can't go all over till 12, wake up at 4, continue working and working and working, yet you're not taking care of your body. That is what I mean by professional, taking care of yourself in the professional arena, that you're giving yourself time to relax off of work. And actually, at Ignition Point, those are some of the things that we actually do when we provide spaces, retreats for people who are working, for young people, for women, for children. We have different retreats that help you to just, forget about everything that is happening in your life and take care of you. Do activities that make you feel relaxed. Yeah. Then the other one, we have the social aspect of self-care. So how do you take care of yourself? from family and friends and people around you? How do you ensure that you have a right support system that are not looking out for themselves but are also looking out for you? Do you have someone that if today you didn't wake up, who would be the first person who would notice that so and so did not wake up? Will there be someone who will notice that you have a fake smile on your face? Who will be that? Will there someone who will notice that you're not okay financially and they just send you some 200 shillings or 300 shillings just to take care of your bills? Will there be someone that you have in your social circle who takes you out without even asking for anything? So investing in such type of support systems is actually something that can fit in the category of self-care. Also being part of what are they called, self-help groups, and also taking therapy. There's this myth that therapy is for people who are not okay, therapy is for people who have problems, therapy is for people who have mental illness. No, therapy is for anyone who wants to grow, anyone who wants to better themselves. And therapy is actually a self-care routine. In fact, I also have a therapist where you just go and blabber and talk and they hear you, they give you new insight. They don't tell you what to do, because that's a myth that I've heard from so many people. There is affordable therapy these days. There are organizations that have been sponsored to offer free therapy. The government is also providing free therapy. There are therapists around ourselves. In Savo, there is a clinical psychologist, Emma, as you have heard. And there are other organizations that are just out there, even online, to provide the therapy. So therapy is also a form of self-care. And finally, I would want to talk about financial self-care. This is where we as young people mostly forget to look at. When I'm talking about financial self-care, is do you have money that you set aside to take care of you? Because you find that most of us, most or some, let me use some of us, when you earn whatever you have been given, all of it either goes to your expenses, it goes to people, it goes to something like that, or all of it goes to taking care of you. Now that I'll call it a less balanced system. Financial self-care means that when you're given your money, at least you have 10% or 20% of that money going to you, that you can take 20% and go buy yourself a good dress or a good pair of jeans or a good shoe. Buying yourself that shoe does not mean that you're wasting money. Going to a restaurant and spending money on a certain drink that you love doesn't mean that you're using your money in the wrong way. So financial self-care is very important in helping you determine how your self-care routines will be. And I'll be ending the presentation at that. Thank you for listening to me. If you have any question, feel free to let me know. Thank you. Over to you, Jeff.
Perfect. That was an amazing presentation by Juliet. Ilibidi nitafute kitabu hata mimi. I am learning. And I think she has really explained a lot of things for us and to us, and those are amazing insights. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask questions. There might be gifts at the end, so just karada. Stay tuned. There might be gifts at the end. So the one there's a question by Winnie. So I think Emma can take it.
Yeah, the presentation was really insightful, Juliet. Thank you so much. On our live chat on YouTube, Wanja is saying, I'm experiencing different dynamics of emotions, so I'm at the center. Yeah, and this is to just tell you, Wanja, it's still very okay to be where you are. Yes, and it's good for you to identify what are the triggers and the things that are making your wellness to be not at the optimal level. But yeah, the moment embracing your emotions, feeling whatever you need to feel. Yeah, and as Juliet emphasized, therapy as well, like, is a helpful aspect in identifying issues. Yeah.
I think I'd love to hear what Udi and Leti have to say on the same, on burnout and self-care. I'd really love to hear what they have to say, what they think about it as well. Maybe Leti, we can start with, no, let's start with Udi.
Okay, so
Okay. It's okay.
okay.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Okay. I really love what Juliet said, where burnout is more of a chronic state. Chronic meaning the stress has been prolonged over a certain amount of time. Because a lot of the time when you're experiencing something that is stressful, it's important to acknowledge what it is in the first place and how it makes you feel. Because a lot of the time there can be a lot of either invalidation, or you brush it aside and you keep moving, but your system has taken note and is stuck in that state. So acknowledging it and knowing what has happened is very important, because it's also going to help you in the resources of working out whatever is the stressful thing. So I think also the process of working out through the stressor is important, because it's also working towards stressing you, and you're working towards figuring it out and fixing it. You're lessening the state of stress. So that's why it's important to know what's happening. And a lot of the time when you're stressed, you tend to overlook your possible resources. So that's why it's good to also just sit down and look what has just happened. How do I feel about it? And then what can help me overcome this? Also with self-care, there's some immediate things you can do to help. Like if you're feeling anxiety or something in the present moment, you can do breathing exercises, because what the stressors do, they sort of put you in a state where it's like a threat to the body. So your system is so heightened, and you're acting up basically. You're really on edge. So sometimes even something like a breathing technique helps return your body into a state of calm, and now you can be able to proceed and work on whatever it is that's taking place. In fact, I think even maybe after Odi gives his comments, I had some things that people can check and just rate themselves where their current state is right now. I think that would be very fun to just know, because sometimes you don't even know you are stressed because it's not in your present mind. It's not a present state of stress. So I thought that would be very interesting. So you just check the list, and in the end, because they're about 20 or so, you can tell maybe 10 out of 20. I experienced 10 out of 20 or 5 out of 20. And we can just see where people are at as we speak right now.
Oh,
We're looking forward.
yeah. It's a bit scary because now it's a test, and what if I'm at 19?
This therapy.
Clearly. Yeah. Udi, maybe what are your insights on the same?
Sorry, I got logged out a bit. What was the question?
Oh, just your insights on burnout, self-care. How do you feel? What do you think about it?
Well, as I said, it really depends on how you're looking at so it depends on what we call your worldview. Because we do everything based on how we see and view the world, what we call our lenses. And so, this is not really a one size fits all kind of thing. It's really dependent on how you see the world. Juliet, when she was speaking, she talked about, science, religion, financial, physical, social. So depending on how you, because we all see the world primarily through a particular lens, that should guide your priority in terms of how you care for yourself. And it should also guide the elements or the areas in your life where you should be wary of burnout, because your primary car is the one that takes the most hits. So, in a sense, part of self care is understanding what's my world view, or what's my primary lens, or what's my primary driver, and then asking yourself, am I taking care of that primary driver? So, as I said for myself, I know the thing that distorts me is my body. If my body is not in good functioning order, then I know something is wrong. So I start asking myself, what do I need to start thinking about? If your worldview, you think from the world from a spiritual point of view, and you start having dysfunction in that area, then you can, it's a pointer towards something is going off. I don't know whether that makes sense.
Okay, that's amazing, and I think I'm learning so much. I'm really learning so much, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And as I can see, Kiende is saying amazing insights again. So thank you people. Mwangi Dorian, that was such an amazing presentation, and definitely it really was. And I'd love to know, as clinical psychologists, as people in the field, what are your forms of self-care? If you don't mind, of course, what is that one thing that you do that when you do it, it feels like self-care? Maybe after I can share mine to see if it's yeah.
I can begin. I think for me, I get to that point like of knowing when I'm at the limit. Yeah, like when I'm not able to take on new people, to take on new clients, to listen to other people. Yeah, and to just like take a break and just be with me. Yeah, and also like yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. That's interesting. Lady, maybe what's yours?
Wow, I am very big on my downtime. Very big on my downtime. That's the time I take to watch movies. I really love romantic movies. So I just start watching a lot of love and it really helps me. And I tend to also really sleep a lot. Like I am a nappist. I really take naps, or I'll just go watch a really nice either romantic or comedy movie. That does it for me.
Okay, learned a new word, napists. Udi, I think Udi has shared a lot about what I feel like I can tell what he does for self-care, but of course not. That's amazing. He drinks his water, but I'd love to hear from him.
Yeah, of course there's water, because again, I'm going to repeat the same things, but hey, inside out, outside in. We are beings that are dependent on the bodies that we have. Our bodies are the certificate for being on this earth. If I don't have a body, I'm illegal. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm 6 feet deep. I have no property. I have no girlfriend. I have no boyfriend. I can't eat in those expensive restaurants. So you have to take care of that body. So that's number one. So you exercise. And again, exercise is not going to lift 30 kgs, 40 kgs, 100 kgs in the gym. It can be as simple as Pilates, yoga, basic stretching. I mean, that's what I do personally. Then the other thing is drinking lots of water, hydrating. Your body is 70% water. It needs that to run most of your functions of your body. So those two primarily. And then number three, self-awareness. And there are two elements of self-awareness, internal and external. And I'll talk about external. looking and learning to respond to the way people respond to you is an indicator that you're doing well or not. If people seem to feel off after engaging with you time after time, there's something wrong. That is not how you're meant to function. External means, how other people see us is also an indicator of whether you should be taking care of self-care. People ask you, are you okay? Is something wrong? All those kinds of questions are pointers towards you need to look inward and be aware of what's happening inside. We could talk about the PlayStation, sex, and all those other things, but hey, let me not kill the conversation too early.
That's nice. Thank you. Letty, how about you? Juliet? Yes.
Okay, so I once shared my self-care strategy with someone and they really laughed. So I don't know if I have the confidence, but let me go ahead and share.
They're listening.
So when I am totally burned out, totally, I just take my laptop, download a lot of Netflix movies, and then I go to Burger King, order a frappe or a milkshake. I spend the whole day there watching movies and I'm taking their milkshakes, and I will be okay by the time 5 p.m. is coming by. So that's my first way. If that doesn't work, sleeping works and music works a lot. And retreats. I'm always watching out for the next retreat. Every once a month, I have to go for a retreat.
Okay. That's nice. That's important. I think it's important to always be away from the norm, be away from what you used to. I think I'd like to share mine because I don't think there's a right way of self-care. Like there's no marking scheme. There's no self-care marking scheme. So I like taking my self-care. I'd like to get in a day. So maybe I'd choose a Sunday, and on this particular Sunday I will be away from social media. And I think it's not so far from Juliet's. So I'd take my laptop, I like writing, and go to a restaurant. And I think I'd just spend as much time as I can just being alone and being in touch with my thoughts, writing, and just being in my own space. I love nature as well, so maybe walks to Karura or hiking once in a while. So I think that's mine.
Interesting. Since you have similar ones with Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also on the talk on social media, at times I also feel like taking a break from social media. Like it gets to a point you've seen so many things that are disturbing. Like everybody, whoever has died higher. You've gone to like 100 burials by the end of the year. Yeah, it's not wrong to support people, but it can be very emotionally draining, I guess. Yeah, so it's good to know like the limit when you're tired of social media.
Okay, that's nice. That's really nice. So as we go on, keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming, guys. And yeah, I believe we can move on with a couple of questions from Emma, at least now for Udi, for Letty, and for Juliet, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so far
Emma?
the conversation has really been amazing. For Udi, Savo like is really big on building a community and like for the young people to find their tribe here. So like how about you talk about how on people having difficult conversations and building the community in Savo. How about that?
Having difficult conversations and building the community.
Yeah, like where we feel safe, emotionally safe. Yeah.
Well, the first thing is to understand that the way people have a basic understanding of what self-care is, which is like one, attend seminars and have conversations around self-care, which makes you more knowledgeable so that you're not speaking from a point of ignorance and you can speak from a point of knowledge. That's one. Then once you have figured that out, is understand the various forms of self-care that are there. And you guys really we've talked about it here. We have people who engage in self-compassion. There are others who engage in self-soothing, others who engage in self-indulgence, people who do self-love, others who are self-aware, and others who self-preserve. So understanding that your way of doing it doesn't mean that the other person's way of doing it is necessarily wrong. So having that understanding is a primary foundation to be able to build in that community, which means that you're able to allow people the space to engage in self-care in their own way without infringing on that space, because yourself is about you. Okay? So that's one. And then two is asking people, are you okay? This is a simple question. Are you okay? And then once you've asked that question, you should be ready to listen.
Yeah.
Without, okay, I'll put it this way, you should be ready to do two things. There are two options. Maybe they may want you to listen, and two, they may want solutions, okay? So if they want you to listen, then don't hijack the conversation with anecdotes about how you would do it or what you do. And if they want you to listen, if you really feel you want to contribute, then you can help them shape their thoughts or feelings by asking questions about how they would like to change the situation that they're in. So keep the conversation on them. If they want solutions, if you've been in similar situations, feel free to share your learnings. I mean, our most powerful witness is our own life stories. And if you can't do that as an individual, make yourself acquainted with people who can do that. Like on this panel, there are people who now can be able to do that. You know that. So you could feel free to recommend them to people who they can be connected to get help. I think if you're to do those three things, if I'm to summarize, make yourself aware of the different things that encompass self-care. Find out if people want you to listen or if they want solutions, and make a habit of asking, guys, are you okay? I think that would be a good foundation to build.
Okay, perfect. I really love that. And if I may ask, I think you mentioned find out how if they'd love you to listen, or if they'd love you to maybe give you a solution. So I think maybe from your experience, how would you get to understand maybe what someone needs? So if they come to you, or if you ask them and they speak, so how do you get to know if this person just wants someone to listen, or if this person wants help, like advice in the same way? How do you get to know that?
Well, the fortunate thing, and I'll allow the other guys to chime in, is that we are born in societies. We didn't, I don't know, there are guys who don't speak Swahili. Hukutoka binguni kama kohozi. You were born in a family, whether functional or dysfunctional, okay? And that speaks to your responsibility to learn how to build, to live within networks of people, which means training your ability to listen. Now, there is no one answer fits all, but one of the key things that allows you is to understand that person's communication style. Because there are people who, like Juliet says, who just want to talk, and they will talk and talk and talk and talk. That's a person who may not really want to hear an answer. But there's a person who would ask you a question and then pause and then look at you and wait for a response.
There are other persons who just want you to be there and be silent with them. So how do you know, or how would I know? One of the key things is spending time with a person. Time is what will allow you to know, because if you sit with somebody long enough, you can if you sit with somebody long enough and you give them your full attention, you get a chance to actually know what they want based on how they respond. But I don't know, Letty and Juliet and even Emma there, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you've really given like the important insights. Yeah, I think observing other people and learning how to respond and learning what they need from us is key. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Eddie.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, and then Juliet has actually asked on the chat about the negative self-care techniques. Yeah, and it was also part of the talk. Like, Juliet, you can talk about it. Like, what are the things that people engage in as a way to cope with stressful situations, but it is just short term. In the long term, it has negative effects.
Actually, I was saying that sometimes you might think that something is beneficial to you until it is not. So there are negative self-care techniques. And especially when you realize that you're spending more time into a self-care routine. For example, I mentioned that I enjoy movies. So when you find me in Burger King today, tomorrow, the other day, and the day after the other day, okay, now that becomes a negative self care because you're like detaching from reality and detaching from what is going on. It's something good, but the fact that you're overdoing it makes you forget that you have things to sort out. A self care routine should be something to just help you get into the mental space of relaxing and working out your issue. So you'll see someone loves taking alcohol, but now they take alcohol, consume alcohol more than they can handle, or they take it today, they take it tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and it becomes a habit. Not only alcohol, if it's the retreats, you're overdoing the retreats. If it's buying yourself things, I once had a habit where if I'm so mad or if I feel I have a burnout, I take whatever money that is in my account. If I have 5,000 in my account, that one will go towards a shoe, just so that I can feel happy. But you see, now that is negative because when I've bought the shoe, after I am feeling okay, I'll start asking myself, okay, now where is money for lunch? I don't have bread in my
That's
house.
true.
So when you overdo the self care, it's negative.
Yeah, we hear you. It is so true. Like, yeah, with the even alcohol, somebody might start using and it becomes a habit, an addiction that needs the rehab. Yeah, so like it's good to have the thin line. And just to insist also, like even on work, sometimes people use work to run away from their issues. So they give so much
True.
time and they're so good with their work. But if the work is taken away, they are not okay people. Yeah, so when you talk of self-care, let's talk about it from a wholesome perspective: mental, spiritual, social life, family, everything psychological. Yeah, like not from one per se. I would also want to insist on
Emma.
the role of seeing a mental health worker, because sometimes the issues we have, the actual mental health disorders that need to be addressed. Yeah, just the same way you wake up one day you're coughing and you need to go to hospital to be given a cough syrup. So it's good to like if you push to the ends and you like get into a habit of like seeking the support from from the psychiatrist, psychologist to check the underlying issues. Yeah, thank you. And how about Letty, you are to give us the activities, and I also wanted you as you give us the activity.
I think before we go to Letty, Udi says he has a point to add on the same. Maybe you can hear that.
Okay, Udi.
Yeah, Jeff, you asked about how do you know whether somebody wants to answers or to listen. Yeah, so I forgot to say, the first thing you can do is just ask, do you want, I mean, now that we are speaking, do you want comfort or do you want solutions? Which will give you a direct response to whether that's the case. And then the other thing is, like I said, because we come into families, we come into societies which have other people, you have to learn to develop the skill of savoring that moment and finding the flow. That also gets you an opportunity to know what one wants. I forgot to add that.
Okay, thank you. I think asking can seem hard, but I think it is very important. It is very important. It's very important. Thank you, Udi.
Yeah, so that you know the needs the person has. Yeah, and how to address them.
So maybe we can go to one last question before we get to the questions by our audience. And remember, as we move on, there is gifts for those who ask questions. So feel free to ask questions. I can see Sophie says that I think she keeps her sane by watching animations to connect with her young self, who did not have much to worry about. It's so cute. Like, it's so interesting how kids work, and it's fun. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. I also, Letty was supposed to give us the assessment, and as we have the conversation, I would want to ask Letty, when do you know, like, you've reached the thin line of seeking the mental health support, rather than just trying all those things we've mentioned, going to Burger King, because you may go to Burger King 3 days, like, when do you know, umefika, like, this is the limit, like, I need help, and then you'll also give us the assessment.
Okay. I would start by saying functioning is very important. As we sit here, the audience, Jeff, Emma, myself, Udi, we have things that we do in our daily life, whether it's work, whether it's school, whether it's you're a parent or you're a caregiver. There's some things that occupy our daily life, our responsibilities. So one of the key ways you can know that your alarm is really ringing is when you're not able to meet your responsibilities adequately. As Juliet mentioned, if you're spending a lot of time on the self-care or distracting activities, and so your work is suffering, your academics are suffering, or you're not in the mental capacity to even handle these activities that you were handling previously, that is a lot of the time a sign that you can come seek mental health support. So your functioning, your responsibilities and how you function with them is one of the key indicators that your mental or internal alarm is ringing. Also, I would like to say harm in the sense that if you feel that you're also not being good to yourself, you can already tell how you're working with yourself is not how you usually work with yourself or treat yourself. And that's on a neutral sense. Treat yourself in terms of if you're showering, you're dressing up, you're someone who likes to put on your earrings, put on a good makeup, or you like your perfume. You notice that some of these things of your daily function are suffering. That is time to take a step back and realize that something is not really working well. It could also be harm to others in terms of being irritable, snapping at people, being easily irritated or being easily affected negatively by what people are doing around you or to you. That is also normally a sign. So it's both internal or based on yourself, how you treat yourself, and also how you treat other people, because those are some of the signs that things are not really working well for you, and so you're easily triggered by something someone is saying, and a lot of the time you'd find your reactions may be magnified as opposed to how you previously would react to a similar situation. So it's a heightened sense of reaction compared to what you would previously do. So those are some of the small things. And I think one of the key things as to why we are giving this information is to also help with prevention as opposed to waiting until things are extreme. By the questions I want to ask you is not really to scare you or to make you feel that things are finished, but it's to help you notice that when some of these things start taking place, it's a sign that you're heading there. It doesn't mean you're there already. You could be, you might not be, but it's good to at least know what are some of the things you should look out for, to know that you're really not okay and you might need additional help or support.
Perfect. I think now might be
Yes.
the right time. I think I don't know if I'm still tensed, but I think I'm ready to the test. I'm ready to the test. So maybe you can take us through.
All right. So I have about 18 questions. It's not an assessment. It's not anything to worry about. It's just some of the information I came about. And so what we will do is, because there are 18 items that I'll ask you, for every item that you feel is a yes, keep a cumulative score of it. So for example, if the first question I ask for you is a yes, keep the first score. If the second one is a yes, that's 2. So you keep adding up for all the questions that are a yes for you. All right. And then at the end, I think you guys can also post what your scores were, if you're comfortable with it, and just see how
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
faring on.
Hold on, I guess
All
is
right.
one, zero, zero
Okay.
is
So the
no.
first, yes, yes, that's it. So for every yes you have, you add 1 point.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the first question is, are you feeling anxious or worrisome? Okay. The second one is, are you feeling an inability to concentrate? The third one, are you feeling pains or unusual feelings of sickness? Yeah. The next one is, are you feeling sad or mostly unhappy? 5, are you feeling overwhelmed and constantly worried? 6, are you irritable? Are you feeling irritable or short-tempered? Okay. 7, are you often feeling tired? Okay. 8, are you feeling lonely or alone? Um, a disclaimer is, some of these things are very subjective. Based on how you know yourself, that's how you answer, right? All right, so going to number 9. Are you experiencing trouble remembering things? And number 10, are you experiencing trouble relaxing? Okay. Number 11, are you experiencing trouble getting your work done? Number 12, are you experiencing trouble making good decisions? Remember how you know yourself? Answer it based on that. Number 13, have you used alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs to feel better? Number 14, have you been sleeping too much or too little? Again, based on how you know yourself. Number 15, have you gained or lost weight? Number 16, have you isolated yourself from friends and family? Number 17, have you neglected responsibilities? And finally, number 18, have you lost interest in activities you used to enjoy? And that is it. That's just to help you see and gauge yourself, where do you feel you're at? When I saw the questions, actually, I was also like, because remember when I said sometimes you might not be conscious that you're experiencing some of these things, but when someone brings it to your attention, is when now you start becoming aware. Oh my goodness, you know. And that's time to actually take a back seat and realize, okay, what here is a resource, what here is a threat, and then you work forward based on that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was scared. I was scared of getting 20 out of 18.
I think you're doing well.
I think I'm doing well. I realized that at some point, it was, you could tell when I mark my points. So I decided. So maybe I was lying. Maybe I marked and I didn't tick it as a yes. But I'm not doing so badly off. What about you?
Okay, mine is at 7. But anyway, I even have a therapist. It's called Tabitha. And it is still okay, even yours is higher. It's still okay. But I was actually wondering, hey, Jeff is doing well.
No, I stopped counting. I think mine isn't so bad. It's not so bad, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm seeing Ryan is there with his double digits. It's okay, Ryan. It's okay, Ryan.
We're in this together.
We're in this together. That's why we're here. That's why we're here together. Okay, and so I'd love at this moment, because of time, to allow just any questions, just a few questions from the audience. Just feel free to type it in. Remember that there's gifts, and I think Wanja Imanyara, we have a T-shirt for you. So I will get your name, and feel free to DM us at Savo Lifestyle. And we have a T-shirt for you. Same to Miriam Wende. I love your proactivity. So for that, you deserve a T-shirt as well. Yes. So anyone else who has questions, feel free to ask before we close off. And as we go on, we're sharing the contacts of our very able team. So we will also share it in our platforms. So if you have any queries, if you feel like we need to talk to someone, clearly there's people available who are well vested and they have the ability to help you and assist you. So we're sharing the contacts in the chat. So feel free to contact them. Amazing people, as you've seen. And we will also share their contacts on our platforms. Yes. Okay. Any questions? Any questions, people? Any questions? T-shirts. Any questions? I think as people maybe type it in, I'd love to ask, since you guys have been in the field, how maybe I can ask Emma here. How is therapy being received by just people in general here, of course, here in Kenya, in among our community?
Okay, people are willing to seek help, but there's that stigma, like you didn't want your friend know you're seeing a therapist. Also, especially for men, boy, toxic masculinity is so real. Yeah, and it's just good to feel how you're feeling and to cry, you know. So there's those differences in our agendas and in how people perceive therapy, but for sure it works because as we've tried the product, yeah, it does work, and would encourage the people listening and to give it a trial.
Okay. Okay. So feel free. Don't be shy. Yeah, feel free to share. So as you can see in the chat, after this, there's a survey to make it easier to deliver your gifts for Winnie and for Miriam. So yes, there's amazing T-shirts with amazing prints, and I guess if there's any other questions, unless there's any other questions, we are right on time.
Yeah.
And we're really grateful to have you people in the audience. It has been amazing. I have enjoyed every single bit of it. And before we close, I'd love Just each one to say just 30 seconds, just 30 seconds of what they'd want to leave us with before we go. From maybe we can start from Leti.
Okay, so the lady Letty goes first. But I would like to start by saying that everyone here is valuable. And even as we're talking about creating safe spaces for communities, I would like to encourage us to also create safe spaces for ourselves. Being able to feel what we're feeling, think what we're feeling, be open with ourselves. Because sometimes how we treat ourselves, if we treated our friends or families that way, they would probably run away. And sometimes you need to look inward and see, are you also channeling some of that love, the care, the compassion, the support to yourself, even as you care to share it to other people? Thank you.
Thank you. Juliet.
Wow, that was brief, Letty. Thank you. A time like this, December, I think somehow the same dates, I scored a 20 in that test. And I don't know if it is, yeah, I just made a deliberate decision to take care of myself this year. And I said 2022 is going to be different. I'm happy to say that I've scored a 3. So my parting shot will be deliberate on taking care of you. If you don't take care of you, no one is going to take care of you the best as you can. So be intentional in taking care of you. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you. Maybe Udi can say something as well.
Well, what I'd say is your brain is an organ like your kidney, like your lungs, like your heart, like your leg. So you wouldn't tell the kidney, think yourself to wellness. You take it to the hospital to get attention. So in the same way, your brain is also an organ that resides in the same body. So it is subject to getting unwell. And so when you get unwell, you see somebody who can help you work towards that wellness. So even though we've talked about self-care, there are times you don't fix yourself. There are times you seek an expert listener to help you think through how to get better. And that is why we started this conversation today.
Thank you, Udi. Thank you. And last but not least, the lovely lady on in front of the camera, the lady who made this happen, Emma.
All right, thank you. I would say it's important to validate your emotions. Like whatever you're feeling, it is so okay. And when you learn how to validate your own emotions, when somebody tells you they are going through an issue, you won't tell them you've had it worse. It should be like, I hear you, because you also embrace how you feel. Yeah, also on setting boundaries on what you can do, what you can't. Yeah, and being very self-aware so that when you're getting off your limits and you need help. Yeah, and it's okay to see a therapist.
Amazing. I think one last question before you close from Kiende. They're asking, is it possible to have info on places we can access affordable therapy? Yes. We shall share contacts. We have 4 amazing people here who you have just seen, and their contacts will be shared, and they will be there for you. They will be there for you. And okay. I think that has been an amazing day. It has been an amazing webinar, and the first of many. And really looking forward to get more. Join us on Saturday. On Saturday, we have a physical wellness day at our Coral Bells rooftop. So be sure to be there There'll be people vending, there'll be vibes, there'll be a lot of happiness, and see you there. See you there. And I think with that, have a good night. Have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for joining, and we love you. We love you. And looking forward to see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Jumbo,
Habari yenu.
this is Victor from Savo Lifestyle.
This is Jeff Girago from Sabo Lifestyle as well.
And we hope that you've been having a lovely week so far in this wellness week dubbed Be Alright. And now here are your top 3 questions concerning wellness.
Question 1. What do you understand by wellness?
I think it's just about having the kind of conversations that we need to have and being able to discuss openly that whether you're having a good time or a bad time, you know that you have a support system that can cater to you. And by definition, when they're okay, you're okay. And by when you're okay, people around you are also okay. Yes.
Question 2. How do you keep yourself sane? Keeping myself sane is always through realization that there's things that are in your control. Circle of influence and circle of concern. So getting to understand how to deal with them, getting to know how to talk to people who are related, who are interested, or rather who are affected by these things, and also taking care of yourself, be it through ensuring, for example, at work, ensuring you don't go through burnout and self-care. So always getting to do the things that you love, things that will make you happy, things that will put you in a space that will ensure that you're in the right mental space to execute other things as well. Yes, and question 3, most important of all, Victor,
Are you happy? Are you happy, my good sir?
Are you happy?
Personally, I can say I'm happy because I find happiness in making others happy. And that's all being all right, hashtag be all right is all about. So if you guys are happy, I'm happy. Yes.
I think I'm happy as well. I'm happy as well. Someone said, I don't know who, no one never knows. Someone said, no one never knows. The secret to happiness is always to have something to look forward to. And I'm definitely looking forward to this Thursday for the webinar and also for the event that we're going to have here at the Coral Bells rooftop. And I believe I keep myself happy by always having something to look forward to and gratitude.
Wow. Oh, wow. My, oh, my. All right, so that's it. We're looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday evening on the online webinar. We'll keep you posted on YouTube and Instagram. And we're also looking forward to have you on Saturday for our wellness fair. Be blessed.
Karibuni sana. See you there, guys.
Ta-ta.